Hey guys, and welcome to our review of Boruto, Naruto Next Generations. I'm your host, the Cinder Blaze, and with me today we have...
Makotoa.
Welcome back, and let's jump right into episode 49, the second installment of our kind of like filler series. We just kind of like stop by and check out all the other Genin teams, because they really haven't had any development as teams before this, so... Like, this is the kind of stuff I want to see before the tuning exam, which I know is going to be like a bit more action packed and actually have the budget for the series. So what do you think about this one in particular? Because I know you didn't like last week's episode by any margin.
Right. Well, I think I like this particular episode more because of the focus. I mean, we already got the coolest sensei of the group. I mean, I guess Konohamaru is pretty cool too, but like freaking Hanabi, like, let's go. All right. Even though she didn't really do anything this episode, it was cool just seeing her there talking.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, she still felt like a sensei figure too, because like she shows concern over her students, and she was like asking Sai because like he was involved with like the whole Nue arc and Sumire in particular. So it's good to that like they know their own kind of like mythology. Like what actually happens in the series, and that kind of referencing back to it. So like I like this kind of like established kind of like relationship between those characters. And I don't know, like that was satisfying enough for me for like Hanabi's development in this episode. Like we're probably gonna get more next episode because that's gonna be more sensei focused.
Yes.
But in the context of like this episode, this was mostly for the team, and she honestly didn't need to be there because it was mostly focused on those three girls and their interactions with each other.
Yeah. I also really like Cat Girl, Wasabi. She's probably my favorite girl right now. Also, she was quite the jerk this episode, just in general. I mean, like, I relate to her because, I mean, I've had to deal with some crybabies, and just like, gosh, I hate it when you get like this. But then again, it's not like I have too much room to talk in certain situations. But
yeah, like honestly, they are shinobi. They're trying to do their mission, and like Namida's over here just crying her ass off. She's like, okay, I'm just gonna do this, just finish the mission. Can you just chill for a second? Let me just go cat mode and just, beast on these little animals.
Seriously, but I do feel like if we really think about it, Namida didn't really do much wrong, if anything, because I mean, look at what Wasabi did. She just jumped in to the to try and grab the stinking bunny rabbits without thinking, just went for it. I mean, it seemed like Namida had something to say, but she didn't stop to listen. So whose fault is that, really? And then, like, even later on, she hesitates to even go help her friend when she obviously hears her scream. It's like, I don't know, like, as much as I like her, I thought that those were just some, like...
Yeah, but she's like a kid right now.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more forgivable, and she was like really rash this episode. Like they really developed her like personality over like most things, which for characters like these, where we honestly don't have any reason to give a shit about them, at least we can recognize them.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like out of this team, it's basically Sumire and the two other chicks who just happen to be chicks in that one class.
The class rep, I would like her a whole lot better if she wasn't doing the whole nervous thing the whole time, because I mean it's already evident in the previous episodes in her own arc that she's capable of like being full of herself and kind of have this, what's the attitude? It was cool. I don't know. It felt Anbu cool. Like she could be the next Kakashi sensei type thing, with her skills. And yet, like, it just feels like all of that just is gone now, just because, her arc is over and she decided to not be a villain. But it doesn't mean she can't have those like mood swings every once in a while. I would love to see just random instances where she instead of being, you know, nervous and stuff, she's just like, what are you, some kind of wimp? Like, you know, just...
I mean, that's Wasabi's character.
Yeah.
Like, for Sumire, I think when she was nervous, it made sense because that was when the other two were arguing.
Yeah.
And whenever it happened in the academy, when other people would argue, mainly Boruto and Sarada, she would always kind of have that thing. But when, like, it came down to, like, the importance of, like, at the end of the New Way arc, and when she had to, like, protect, like, her teammates and actually, you know, take care of the wolf and stuff, she didn't really, like, she wasn't nervous then. She was just like, I've got to show these guys, like, New Way, I got to do it, you know?
She's like, go, Nuemon! You can do it, Nue, I believe in you, dodge! Like, you know, use this attack. That is what it is right now. It's like this little Pokemon that she just uses to fight. Yeah.
And, like, I was kind of rooting for Nue, but, like, I also don't like it all too much, just because if its power, it's kind of... It's situationally overpowered just because it drains chakra, so I'm not sure, like, how it's going to interact with, like, the rest of the series, especially with, like, the tuning exams. Like, that one dude who was, like, draining Sasuke's chakra, he almost beat Sasuke.
I mean, I'm
sure
not,
he was,
I'm,
like, a grown man.
I'm fine with that, because we had heavy hitters in the previous generation of, like, you know, the Genin. We had frickin' Neji and Rock Lee. Like, so I'm fine with some of these, you know... some of these other characters actually being able to put up some kind of fight, because right now I don't feel like, you know, Cat Kiba or Sonic Scream are, you know, they're not gonna, they don't seem like they're really super capable right now.
Hey, I don't think Sakura was capable at all, but in the Forest of Death, when she had to protect Sasuke and Naruto, like, that moment alone made me like her character enough to put up with most of Shippuden.
Yeah, I mean, that didn't get a lot of people through that with her, but I would like to see her be, like, I think it's because this episode we didn't really have a huge amount of danger. Like, even Hanabi was going to jump in. Do I really think that, like, freaking class rep didn't recognize or realize that Hanabi was there? I have a feeling that she might have. And so...
I don't think any of them really noticed because she was kind of far off. And none of them are really sensory type users.
She has the Byakugan too, so I guess she could have, like, spied on him from far distances, but...
Yeah.
I would hope, though, that when things get really serious, like in the tuning exams, that she starts showing that, like, Anbu Black Ops type level of... I don't know.
Ooh, Hanabi or Sumire?
The
class
rep? Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah,
Hanabi's too much of a jokester. Like, she looks like she's gonna play pranks on them or something and laugh. Honestly.
Yeah, and I kind of like how at the end of the episode when they're just, like, eating dango at that one shop, you see, like, Boruto and Mitsuki. By the way, I love Mitsuki tagging along with Boruto all the time. Just makes me kind of happy. They're just kind of, like, tag along buddies. When Boruto was kind of, like, asking about, like, their mission with his aunt, because, like, you know, Hanabi still his aunt, and I kind of want to see how he kind of...
that's right.
Like, I kind of want to see how he kind of deals with that and interacts with, like, his aunt's teachers and stuff. So, I mean, that was actually done pretty well, you know? Like, I'm pretty sure Hanabi kind of, like, took care of everything. He's like, nah. He's like, oh, okay. Like, that was a very Boruto-esque response, too. So...
You know what? What if... So, if Boruto does end up, like, getting together with Sarada, that means he's, like, related to everyone. He's related to the Byakugan, you know, users, the Hyuga clan. He's related to Sharingan clan. He's related to, like... I don't know. Now he just needs to be, like, part of the Saratobi clan, too.
I don't think the Saratobi clan has anything particular that you would probably want.
I I am getting on some terrible tangents. We should continue with this episode review.
Yeah. I mean, I think for the most part, like, that's about it. Oh, we could talk about like the animals and like that whole subplot. I thought it was kind of dumb, but like also somewhat amusing. Especially like my favorite part of like the plot was when the monkey takes her food and it starts boomafooing away, and Wasabi goes in that cat cloak and she can't even catch up. And I was like, dang. That is kind of pathetic, but I'm so amused that I don't care.
Oh, man. I guess there isn't too much more to talk about for this episode. They completed their mission, had a little bit of a fight, but then they, figured it out.
Yeah. It's like really cookie cutter stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But have you had one for Ina show? I don't think we're gonna have one because like the senseis are gonna be doing their whole shtick next week, right?
So when you said at the beginning of this episode that you were happy that these were happening before the tuning exam so that we could get to know the team dynamics more, I was actually thinking, I mean, the way we were introduced to the teams in Naruto was through the tuning exams. We didn't know anything about these kids until the tuning exams. And that was the coolest part, was because we got to see them in action right from the start. It feels like this takes kind of some of the punch or excitement out of the tuning exams, knowing so much about them beforehand. And so even having these like fillery, watered down like character development episodes based off of the teams, it almost takes away some of that like surprise that you were hoping to get out of the tuning exam. So I don't know if I'm actually that happy that these are happening beforehand, as much as like I would be like, oh, I want to see these teams so bad, and they're not going to give it to me until the tuning exams. All right, that's fine. I'll wait. But I that excitement might, I don't know. It depends on how much I guess the other teams would actually do in the exams.
I feel like we've already got that in the Boruto movie, because that's how they were introduced then, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like for in the context of like the Boruto anime, I kind of want them to do it a little bit different than Naruto, because like for Naruto, it was the story of Naruto. Like he was all by himself and kind of like see like his growth in particular, and like how everyone else kind of like feeds into his growth. But for like Boruto, like even though he is like the title character and stuff, like we started the series off with like the entire class, so it wouldn't make sense to kind of like introduce like how they function as teams during the tuning exams. Like we should have already seen like little things of that beforehand, because we've kind of been exposed to them for way too long. And I kind of want to see like, okay, so this is kind of like how they usually do things, and now let's throw in another village and their team and see how that kind of like forces them to adapt. Like that's one thing like I'm kind of looking forward to. It's something that we didn't really see in the original Naruto, because we didn't really have that clear of an understanding of the other Genin's powers to begin with, so they can basically do anything, from like when we like first start like their fights and like the force of death, like we don't really know their powers all too well, so they could be all up in the air, like their strategies and all that stuff, which was kind of like exciting, because like, oh, what does this guy do? But
yeah,
just now I want to know like, oh shoot, he like, what does the enemy do, and like how are they gonna like fight and combat? Hopefully he doesn't have like a computer on him, because Denki's gonna like trash him,
I guess the only other thing I'm looking forward to with the upcoming tuning exams, while we're talking about it, is so as we know, we've got like 4 groups, 4 Genin groups, sort of the same as we did before. Yeah. But what we also got with the introduction of the tuning exams was another group from the Sand Village that became relevant, that we ended up enjoying a lot. So I do recall there was some kind of group from the Hidden Sand that was in the tuning exams from the movie, and one of them had a really cool jutsu. He had the like Iron Sand like Keki Genkai or whatever.
Yeah, I think it was like Gaara's protege or something.
Who knows? All I know is I hope that we get some new group in the tuning exams that will actually continue to be relevant.
Yeah, and I kind of want them to build on like some of the previous stuff that they've already done, like some shinobi from the Hidden Mist, because they did visit that place once. I'm not sure if they really made friends with any of the genin, but maybe they can probably refer to events that happened there. Maybe we can see like I think his name is Kaguya. No, I forgot his name, but
something like that.
Yeah,
Kagura.
Yeah, Kagura. Like maybe we can see like him again. Also, I think I've mentioned this like multiple times, but like Shikadai, like since his mother's from the sand, maybe he can have a relationship with some of those characters as well.
Yeah.
Just I'm really looking forward to it. Like this episode was like, it was pure filler, but I did enjoy it for what it was, and I'm really looking forward to the following weeks. Any final thoughts?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and check out our description for all of our social media links and that juicy Discord. I said juicy Discord thing. Dang it. For that awesome Discord link. It's the Discord chat is really interesting. I'll say that. So make sure you just stop by. Keep it juicy.
See you later.